Hello everybody, it's Faiz, Versey, real estate broker with LePage team Realty, and welcome. So what's going on in the Ottawa real estate market as of June of 2023? If you'd like to find out, please stick around. And before I get into anything, let me preface that what we're going to discuss is some short-term events in the Ottawa real estate market. As I've mentioned before in my videos, that really speaking, the short-term events are, I'm just doing this for fun to entertain people, but really property is a long-term hold, and so you really should be ignoring any kind of short-term movements. Just if you want to understand what the long-term trends is, I have a video called the 64-year history of Ottawa. I'll try to link it up somewhere here, there, somewhere. Please click on that, and that'll give you the perspective on what I'm speaking about when I say focus on the long term. If you focus on the long term, you're going to make a good amount of money in the Ottawa real estate market. But for now, let's look at what's happening right now in June of 2023 in the Ottawa real estate market. This is all for fun, so take it with a pinch of salt. The first thing we'll look at is at the unit sales. The unit sales have been rising since January, which is normal. This is what happens in the Ottawa market. And as my big boss, the founder of LePage team Realty, Mr. Kent Brown says, Ottawa is a one-humped camel. What does that mean? Well, if you look at this yellow line, which is the 5-year average, if you follow my cursor there, and this is exactly what happens in Ottawa every year. So we have this one hump on this camel, meaning that we start off slow with unit sales because we're coming out of the winter and things start to pick up in the spring and in the summer, and then we go into a bit of a lull towards the end of summer, and we again go into a strong period in the fall, and then we decline from there until the end of the year. This is in terms of activity in the real estate market. So what does this one-humped camel mean for all of us? Let's go further. I have a call coming. Let me just quickly take a look at that. I'll just stop the video for a moment. So my friends, that was a crank call. Somebody terminating my account somewhere in the world. Who knows? So let's get back to this. What does all of this mean? Excuse me. So what this means, let's find out. Let's go to some graphs that people will be able to relate to. So for example, the average sale price. This is, I think, one of the preeminent graphs that I have in my package here that a lot of people are interested in. Tell me what's the impact on prices. So again, this is a short-term thing we're talking about, but let's see what's happening in the short term. So in the short term, since January, if you see my cursor here, since January, the market has been recovering. If I just go back to 2022, which is the red lines here, the red bars are 2022, the blue bars are 2023, the green bars are 2021. So if we look at 2022, we had this huge rush up in the market in the first 3 months. This is all to do with the pandemic, era. And then the market started to decline as we got the news about interest rates rising. So the central bank wants to control inflation, so they sent the interest rates rising up quite rapidly. And so the market reacted by having a lot of confusion. It kind of froze up and we had very few buyers. But that's now changed starting in January of this year. If you look at the blue bars, the market has started to come back in terms of prices, and we had a very strong April and an equally strong May. And now I don't have all the numbers for June right now, but I do believe June is going to be strong as well. And that's just from osmosis. That's from being involved in the market every day. And I can hear and I know myself that there is a lot of activity, a lot of buyers. I think the buyers have now settled down in terms of their calculations and are back into the market because they want to get on with their lives and acquire the property that we all can call home, where we can relax and nobody can chase us out. No landlord can say, sorry, your lease is up, off you go. So that's what's happening in the Ottawa real estate market right now. Let's carry on further and see what else I can add to this. This is a very interesting graph. So this is looking at the price range by month of properties being sold. So let's just take a look at this. So what this is telling me is that properties above a million is approximately this section over here, and it's approximately 10%. So if I compare this to last year, at one point this number, this 1%, this 1 million plus area had hit around, let's say 15%, somewhere there. So since then the prices have come down, but now they've started to recover, and we are seeing again more and more activity in the $1 million plus range. But the bulk of the activity in Ottawa happens in this range. If you see where my cursor is, 400,000, this blue triangle here, this blue all the way the brown, red, and to the gold here. So from 400,000 to 800,000. That's where the bulk of the buying and selling occurs in Ottawa. So I hope you found that of interest. And we'll move from there. So this is a very interesting graph over here. The average selling time CDOM, cumulative days on market, and this has been coming down. This again is typical of Ottawa, and so now we're trying to see some trends. I'm trying to always trying to extract trends. And it was very difficult to do that in 2021 and 2022 with the COVID situation. But now we seem to be entering more of a normalized real estate market, which means we're back to kind of 2019 and to the years prior to that. So for example, now when we see the average days on market, they are falling in the first few months, and that's exactly what happens in Ottawa. If you follow this, if you see this yellow line here, the 5-year average, we start off slow and then the sales start to pick up, and then we're just going to follow this yellow line most probably for the rest of the year. So currently we're sitting at 35 days. This is very important information for a seller. This tells you how long on average it's taking to sell a home. So that's what you should expect, that it might take about 35 days to sell your home. It can sell faster than that, or it can take longer. This is just the average across Ottawa. So one of the takeaways is that we are returning more or less to a normalized market in Ottawa, which is, I suppose, good news for most people. Of course, the future, the short-term future, nobody knows. In the long term, we do know, and you'll see my other video that I pointed out, that prices of homes in Ottawa tend to appreciate gradually over time. Not every year, but gradually over time. And really, it's a wonderful wealth building tool for a lot of people. You don't have to do much, just take care of the house and your wealth will grow automatically. Let's see what else we can talk about here. Let's talk about this one, inventory absorption rate. So again, this is telling us the same story that we're seeing, that the buyers are in the market because the houses are going faster. So for example, in January, we had approximately 4 months of inventory meaning 4 months of houses available in the marketplace for us to sell. And that has been steadily coming down, and currently we're sitting at 1.5 months, so that's terrible. We are now back in a seller's market. So over here we were in what I would call a balanced market, buyers and sellers balanced, meaning there's about enough homes in the marketplace so that buyers are not rushed and they can take the time to shop around and buy homes. But now we're back in the seller's market where the seller here is in control, and the seller then can dictate terms in a lot of ways, the prices, conditions that go into an offer, etc. So that's the way it is right now, and we'll see that picture again, I do believe, in another graph. Here we go. So we look at this one, the sales to inventory ratio, and you can see this yellow band here which says balanced market. So in the beginning of the year, if you see this blue bar here, we were in the balanced market, but now we have moved out and we're now squarely in seller's market terms. So that's seller's market, the yellow band is a balanced market, and down here is buyer's market. I don't think we return to a buyer's market for quite some time. I've been saying this even during the pandemic, because there's just such a shortage of housing. So supply and demand. So let's say that if this is supply and this is demand, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Supply and demand. So the thing is, no, sorry, let me do this the other way around. Let's say that this is demand, because demand is higher than supply. This is demand, this is supply. So what's happening now in the marketplace is that supply, if you understand how this works, to achieve equilibrium, the supply is not increasing, the demand keeps increasing. So for this equation to be in equilibrium, what has to change is the price. So the prices are generally going up, and boom. So that's why we have an increase in prices. In a nutshell, supply and demand. Wow, isn't that amazing? Now you know a lot about why prices are going up. I think pretty much this is everything I needed to share with you today. What is this? Yeah, okay, that's enough. So let me stop there with that section of my update. What else did I want to say? I did want to say something. I just have to remind myself quickly. So let me just think about that. Yes, so what I would like to just touch on now is that I often get the comment that, or the question that, is owning property, oh, something like that, is owning property a wealth building tool in Ontario? And my answer to that is yes, if you play the game correctly. So there's a few components to that. First of all, you have to understand that property is a long-term hold. So if you're looking to flip property, meaning you buy it now, you want to do something in 6 months to make money, unless you're buying it as a contractor where you're going to fix up the property and then flip it, that's a different story. Fix it up and sell it, that can work to create income and to increase your wealth. But generally, if you are just the average consumer, you're looking to buy and then sell at some point in the future, it can't be 6 months. It's got to be at least, in my view, 7 to 10 years. You've got to hold your property long term. And if you do that, then it will automatically make you money. There's no guarantee to that. This is just my analysis based on my understanding of the long-term trends of property in Ottawa. And I should mention that I'm only speaking about Ottawa. I don't know about any other market in Canada. If you have any interest in learning about these charts, for example, for other markets in Canada, give me a call. I'll see what I can drum up for you. So I've dealt with that very briefly to say, yes, just jump into the marketplace. Oh yes, the other point is you cannot make money in real estate just by thinking about it or by watching my videos. You actually have to jump into it. So stop thinking about it. Just go ahead and buy a property if you can afford it. Come and speak with me and I'll guide you on how to buy the best property for yourself at the best possible price. If you're a seller and you're thinking of selling your property, come and speak with me. I'll help you with this transaction. A lot of sellers are looking to sell and to buy, either to upsize or downsize, depending on their personal situation. I can help you with that transaction as well. So my friends, that's it for today. If you liked this video, please like it. Please do subscribe to my channel. Please do share this video. I think this information may be useful to people out there. If you share and do all these things, like and subscribe, the algorithm, the Google or wherever you're watching this, the algorithm will like that and will probably spread this video out to some more people. I think there should be more people in Ottawa who would find this information of interest. So please do help out with that. And of course, look, my job is to help my clients to buy and sell property. If you have any needs yourself in that regard, please look me up. If you have any friends that you think need help in that regard, by all means, let me know. I really do appreciate referrals, and I'll try to give them my best service that I possibly can. And I look forward to that. My friends, I enjoyed speaking with you. If you have any questions, put them in the sections below or give me a call or whatever works for you. And until I speak with you again, take care. Bye-bye.